Hi guys, welcome back again. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, I'm Loren and it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. Guys, I'm really excited about another one. Guys, we're going to check out another video today and this one's titled, Here's What It'll Cost You to Live in Germany, okay? It's one of my dream countries here. It has mattered for me to check out what the cost of living in Germany truly costs. So guys, I'm really excited about this one. I can't wait to find out what the cost of living is like in Germany, compared to the economic chaos that my country is in right now. So I really want to know. It truly matters. Okay, so very excited as well. It's Lauren again. Okay, so let's dive in.
Hey there! Before you pack those bags and buy plane tickets to Germany, let's talk numbers first. From rent,
Okay, she looks
groceries,
so
and health
pretty.
insurance to eating out and gym membership, I will try to break down the cost of living in Germany for you today. And now, let's begin! One of the
Okay.
biggest expenses is always rent. Of course, if you can afford to buy an apartment or live at your friend's place rent-free, it's not relevant for you. But if you are an ordinary person living alone, you will probably want to rent a 1 or 2 room apartment somewhere not too far from the city center. Let's say on average you will pay around 700 euros per month for such an apartment.
Okay. 700 euros for such an amount, for such an apartment. Okay, that's that's very much fair. You know, despite I compared the rate of euro to the Nigerian naira, but then we pay rent here in thousands, not in hundreds. Okay, that's they pay in hundreds, yes, accepted, but then we pay in thousands. So imagine converting. Okay, let's go to the rate level now. Like 700 euro could be 700 naira, but we don't pay in hundreds. We pay in thousands. I mean, in millions, not even in thousands. For you to get a standard, a one-bedroom apartment or two here in the heart of town in Nigeria here, you've got to prepare with over a million plus. Okay, so it's not that easy and it's not cheap. It's considered for people, for the rich and for the wealthy. You can't get that, and as an average man, you can't afford it. It's way too expensive. The environment is expensive, and yeah, it's not just for everybody. But imagine Nigerians paying rent with just 700 naira. I mean, everybody will be rich. This is great. I love it. It's totally affordable.
Depending on the city and other various factors, it can be more or less, but on average, let's say 700.
Yeah.
Next, you will also need to pay for the utility costs, which become more and more expensive every year in Germany. And I would estimate that around 200 euros additionally would be a standard monthly price for water, electricity.
This is just I mean, you're paying 200 euro and you're complaining. How about over here in Nigeria where we pay thousands for utilities, like thousands? Okay, it's just outrageous, really. It's totally outrageous. It's true that the German currency is higher than our Nigerian naira, but then I feel shouldn't there be something more for us than for the Germans? I mean, the high they go, and then we that are lesser, shouldn't it be cheaper? And yet it is so exorbitant. You can't that one finds it so difficult to live a normal lifestyle and a comfortable lifestyle. It's just so impossible. And then that's 200 euro there. And she's complaining that it's so expensive. That's great. I wish it that were I wish that was the case over here. Really.
Heating, and some other minor expenses for one person. And who can survive without Wi-Fi? Not me, so I would also budget 30 euros per month for this. Your mobile.
Okay, imagine me buying data for just 30 naira, like 30 naira a month. When we buy data for thousands of nairas. I mean, somebody buys data 100,000 naira a month, and yet it doesn't sustain them. So 30 euros, and you're complaining already. yeah, I know I can't really compare the currency rate, but then imagine if it were to be really like that, like the normal currency rates, guys. This is great. Kind of love it,
A phone
guys. Come
tariff
and
will
take
cost
me
you
and down
anywhere
there. I want
from
to
10 to
experience this.
70 euros per month. And it all depends on how many gigabytes of internet you need. And by the way, mobile internet in Germany is so expensive. It also depends on how many minutes of calls you use, whether you have a subscription for 1 year or just a SIM card for 1 month. But I would estimate that 20 euros would be
Oh
enough
my
for
god,
this.
this
You
is
must
great.
have health insurance in Germany, public or private, it doesn't matter, but you are obliged to have it as a German national or an expat. Here it's really hard for me to provide any average because your monthly insurance fee depends on where you work or whether you study, how old you are, your average income, etc. Because some people pay 100 euros per month and some 1000 euros. I've tried to find some average numbers for how much a typical person in Germany pays for health insurance, but it wasn't really possible, so I decided to use 300 euros just as an example for this video. If you're a student, you will usually pay around 150 euros per month, and if you earn a lot and you have a prestigious job, sometimes you will pay 900 or even 1000 euros per month for your health insurance alone. Apart from rent and health insurance, you will also spend a significant amount on food. From my experience, an adult who buys average groceries would spend at least 250
Oh
euros
my
per month at
god.
supermarkets. If you eat in restaurants from time to time or have a drink at a bar occasionally, I would recommend adding
Okay, 250 euros. You can take 250 naira and buy a bag of pure water. You can use it to buy salt. So that is just nothing for us. And then with 250,000 naira, I say let's take it in thousand. It still won't give you a comfortable life because things are exorbitantly high over here. This is great.
another 100 euros to your budget. You can expect to spend somewhere around 25 euros for one meal plus one drink for one person at a mid-priced German restaurant. Transportation expenses can vary greatly depending on how far and how often you travel. If you use a bicycle most of the times, then your transportation expenses will be close to zero. But if you have a car, you will pay for petrol, insurance, and all other associated costs, perhaps 200 euros per month or even more. And if you have a credit or a lease on your car, then yeah, this number can be huge. But for today's calculation, let's just say that you plan to buy a monthly ticket for public transport in your city, and then it will cost you around 70 euros per month. Last but not least, everyone also needs to allocate funds for expenses such as entertainment, clothes, hobbies, savings. This is highly individual, I know, but I've estimated that 450 euros would be sufficient for all this. 50 euros for gym membership, 50 euros for seasonal clothes, 100 euros for entertainment, and 250 euros for traveling, saving, and all other expenses. In total, we ended up with a monthly budget of 2,120 euros. What do you think, guys?
That's like a total cost of living for a normal and comfortable life, 2,120 euros. Okay, imagine you bring that down to Nigeria, like let's say from the local currency, if our currency were to rate the same in euros, 2,000 naira isn't enough to take you out of your home. It's not even enough to buy you 2 liters of fuel. It's not enough to buy you water, like drinking water, because we buy it over here. It's not even enough to buy you food for a sitting, like you want to sit out and eat out. You can't use 2,000 naira. Your budget starts from 10,000 naira and above. Okay? And look at your whole expenses in month calculated into just 2,000 euros. Now, when you talk about the rates based on comparison, based on the rate of euro to Nigerian naira, yes, 2,000 euro, 2,000 euros. When you bring it down to compare it, converted to Nigerian naira, you have over 2 points. You have over 3 million naira, okay? 3 point something. I don't know. I'll check that later, bro. You have over 3 million naira. That's like thousands in naira, okay? So when you break it down to millions in naira, still you would spend more than half of that money for utilities, like for expenses for a month, okay? It's not cheap. It is totally not cheap. When you pay your rent with if rent costs you roughly for a comfortable apartment, you should be looking at from 1.5 million to anything. People pay 50 million naira for apartments over here too. But then look at this, 2,000 euros for a whole month. You can't use 200,000 naira for a month. Mm-mm. Error. You can't. Things are exorbitantly high, and this cost of living is way, way too high over here. And yeah, I guess the only way to compress this is when you convert 2,000 euros to Nigerian naira, you become a millionaire, but the value isn't there. The value for money is totally lost. It's not there at all. This is just great. I love it. It's not so high. Like, I mean, if you're in Germany and you're working in Germany and earning the German currency, that's in euros, then it shouldn't be a big deal you paying up your your cost of living. It shouldn't be so expensive like it sounds. But you as a Nigerian moving into Germany with your millions, yeah, it's just like fetching water from the well into the ocean because it's gonna just drain it and still say like nothing has added to it because the German currency is way higher than the Nigerian currency, thousands of times higher than ours. So I don't feel it's so that expensive. If Nigerians' cost of living were this cheap, frankly, nobody would be complaining because you can't even go out of your comfort home, like of your home easily. For you to take a trip out of your home, you should prepare like thousands of nairas to go out of your home alone. Not to include you buying something like you want to eat out or sit out and all of that. If you don't have your vehicle, even if you do, a liter of fuel is above 1,000 naira right now. So how many liters of fuel you're gonna fill your tank for you to go out and have that life in the fun and sit out the way you want. So people are actually so low, cutting down on their expenses. Nobody wants to spend. Nobody wants to overspend. Nobody wants to visit. You don't even visit people anymore because you don't even know what it's gonna cost you to visit them, or if you're gonna be welcome. Because life is way too expensive over here. So this is great. But you living as a German and you fly into Nigeria, guy, you're gonna enjoy yourself because your currency is way higher above ours and you're gonna love it. You're gonna see like, yeah, from the perspective of a German coming into Nigeria, you'd be like, wow, the standard of living here is very cheap. And then we being in your shoes, we'll be like, wow, the standard of living in your country is so high. So that's just the balance, okay? Your currency is higher and ours is lower, so it will never balance. And the ideology will never fit. But the plain truth of the matter is, if Nigerian currency were to be the same with the German currency, I bet you can say the standard of living in Germany is expensive. All right, the German currency is there, and their cost of living is way cheap. All right, but then they are also saying it's expensive. I wish they could fit themselves in the Nigerian shoes and see how expensive it costs for you to drink a bottle of water. A bottle of water costs around 500. Now talk about 500 in naira. Imagine you buying a bottle of water in Germany with 500 euros. Like, what would you say about that? Like, 500 euros for just a bottle of water. You want to drink a bottle of mineral, and then you're buying it for 1,000 naira, like 1,000 euros. Okay, imagine you buying a bottle of mineral for 1,000 euros. Okay, so You can't buy wine with 10,000 naira. Imagine you buying a bottle of wine like a normal day. You don't, you're not the kind of person that spends so much. You don't go for high expenses. But imagine buying a bottle of wine for 10,000 euros. I mean, that would be crazy, really. And I bet you're gonna say that, well, Nigerians isn't cheap as well. But if you were to be in our shoes, then you would understand that the cost of living here is so exorbitant. Trying to beat up with the rate of the foreign currency and feeding is so hard, and it has become so harsh on every citizen over here. So to me, the standard of living in Germany isn't as expensive, isn't even one half expensive as the cost of living over here in Nigeria. This is beautiful.
Fairly comfortable life, though not luxurious.
I
That's it for
expected
today,
more,
guys. I
yeah.
hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, subscribe to my
Yeah.
channel and hit that like button. Thank you for watching until the very end, and if you want to discover even more videos about life in Germany, check out my channel. See you soon! Bye bye!
Bye. I love her smile. She looks so pretty. She's so beautiful, guys. Guys, I enjoyed every bit of this video, and I am really, really surprised that the cost of living in Germany is so. You can with 2,000, let's say with 3 million, let's say with the ratio exchange of euros into nairas. Even with that amount in naira, you can't have a comfortable life because life is way exorbitant over here. You can't. Because imagine you're paying a rent of over 2 point something million naira or 1 point something million naira out of 3 point. Then how much are you gonna have to spend for your other expenses at home? Imagine you have a family. What are you going to use that for? So it's nothing, like it won't work. It won't. You're just going to go broke like after a couple of months, a month or two. So it won't. And you won't have a balance. Let's say you have that source of money coming in constantly, but then it will be so hard for you to save because life is way too exorbitant over here. This is great. I expected it to be higher. I love her smile. She looks so pretty. She's so beautiful, guys. Guys, I enjoyed every bit of this video, and I am really, really surprised that the cost of living in Germany is so cheap compared to the cost of living in Nigeria. You can't. It's just so exorbitant. Imagine you buying a phone over there with, let's say, 1 million euros. So if you want to obtain a phone and you're buying it for 1 million euros, how crazy! How crazy could that be? Could there be anything crazier than that? Or imagine you buying um what could it be? Buying filling your tank with 100,000 euro. Like you want to fill your tank. You using 100,000 euros to fill your tank. To be the craziest thing ever. And that's what we go through here every day. And it's so not funny. It's so pressing and so demanding. You can't even find yourself. You go to the market today and tomorrow you go back and the thing you bought for 500 naira yesterday isn't the same anymore. Like the top like 500 naira extra to making it 1,000 naira cost. So it's so hard. It's really so hard. And now you find people going out commenting and saying all sort of things, but it's really true. The cost of living here has become way too exorbitant, and it isn't funny at all. It isn't. Please let me know your thoughts on this video in the comments, and please, guys, take me to Germany. Okay, I want to experience Germany. Please, I love this. This is awesome. Okay, I really love it. I'll see you in my next video, and I remain your girl, Loren. Bye.